So Colbor sent me out some new gear. They sent me out the CineFlare CF5. I've been really looking forward to trying this out, along with their new Wonder Series Pocket COB Light. This one is 100 watts of power, which is the exact same as the light that's lighting this entire room. So I'm really excited to try both of these out. Let's go ahead and start with the CineFlare CF5 fog machine. All right, so this is the normal angle you guys are used to seeing from me, but one thing I always do when I'm filming is I use mist filters in front of my lenses. This kind of helps take the edge off of the highlights and kind of helps bloom everything out. And basically what I've been doing is kind of trying to simulate what an atmospheric foggy room would look like by using this mist lens. In fact, I'm filming this entire video with my iPhone because I want to show you how much you can truly change an image just by changing around lighting and adding some atmosphere. Now, the reason I was so excited to get the CineFlare CF5 from Colbor is that I would normally use something like this atmosphere in a can. And don't get me wrong, this stuff's great. It gets the job done, but it really dissipates pretty quickly and you have to fan it out yourself because it comes out in such a direct form. And I mean, sometimes you want that. You want your atmosphere to go in kind of one confined location, and that's why the CineFlare comes with these directional tubes and this directional tube attachment. So if I was filming something like a product shot, rather than having atmosphere all in the air, I could have the atmosphere just around that, and can't do that anymore. And I mean, just from that, you can see how much longer this stuff is staying versus the atmosphere in a can. But now let's move on to my favorite thing about this magnetic fan attachment. This fan attachment helps dissipate the fog and give us a more balanced coverage in our scene without having to fan it out like you normally would. And now look at this. I ran that for maybe about 20 to 30 seconds, and I gave it about 30 seconds to level itself out as well. And look how balanced this atmosphere looks. I definitely waved it a little bit with my hands, but I didn't have to get a large sheet of like cardboard and waft it like I normally would with the atmosphere in a can. So now let's combine the CF5 with their 100-watt COB light. Now, originally when Colbor told me they wanted to send me out their 100-watt COB light, I was expecting something very similar to my Amaran 100X. That's a decent sized COB light. It's not too big. You could put smaller attachments on it, but it's still something you're gonna wanna put on a stand. You don't wanna kinda hold it and walk around. Well, Colbor had something completely different in mind. This little panel is a 100-watt light, and whereas my Amaran is only bicolor, this is full RGB, and it's half the size of an iPad mini. In fact, the power brick itself is the same size as the light. Now, I don't know if they plan on making a version 2 of this. This is still relatively new. I have had both of these for a little bit over a month. I was planning on making this video a while ago, but I had a bit of an injury from running, and I'm still recovering. It was a lot worse. It was legitimately like a hole in my hand, but the team at Colbor was super understanding. They allowed me to delay this video, but like I mentioned, they may be on to planning a version 2. So you could find a way for us to get rid of the power brick, that would be great. Now they do have like an attachment that is kind of like a grip stand that does have an included battery. And this does have USB-C. So I might be able to plug in something like this V-mount and run it, but I need something where it could attach. Let's see if we can turn it on. Oh, yep, so you can. That is very bright. Holy crap. That's a 25%. What in the world? So if you're wondering, yes, it can be powered with a V-mount. This is a very, very bright light. I'm excited to try this out. So the kit Colbor gave me came with this reflector dish, which is gonna help us get some directional light. And it even came with this kind of like soft dome diffuser to go over it. But I believe Colbor does make their own soft boxes as well that you could put on this. But still, such a small light. It can be controlled with the Colbor Studio app, and you get full RGB out of something this size. Let's go ahead and swap it out for my key light here and see what it looks like. All right, so I've turned off my key light and I've replaced it with the Colbor light, and this light is at 1%. I haven't changed any settings on my iPhone. That's just how bright it is. Oh my God, that hurts. This is the light. Oh my God, that is so bright. This is the light at 100%. It is like I'm staring at the sun. I mean, I could travel with this fog machine, that light, and my iPhone and be able to make so many cool scenes. In fact, let's see what it looks like to use just one light with this fog machine. All right, so I've moved the light along with my iPhone, and you can see you can kind of mirror like a hazy sunset look pretty easily. It took all of 2 seconds to do that. And because that light is so small, I can put it in kind of different angles to where I can still get it on the side of my face, but also create some shadow and some depth on this side. And with the atmosphere, you can really see that around the subject. So if we wanted to isolate an object right here, we could do that pretty easily. All right, and there you have it. To say I'm impressed with these two things would be beyond an understatement. This atmosphere, I've been filming this video for about 45 minutes, and I've maybe pumped this twice, and it is still just floating around the room, very thick. When it comes to the light, I like this thing so much that I'm gonna try to find a way to work it into my current studio setup. And it will be coming with me on pretty much every client shoot I have because it's so small, it'd be so easy to fit in a bag, yet it's so powerful. Like, I was blown away with how bright this thing actually was. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. If you wanna pick up either one of these, I have links in the description. If you have any questions about them, go ahead and leave it in the comments. A huge thank you to Colbor for sending these out. It's not often that I get products that I review and then I'm like, I can't wait to use this again. I definitely get products that are useful and that have a particular use case, but these two right here, I can think of so many different times that I've needed something just like this, and now I have them. So huge thank you to Colbor for sending those out. Highly recommend these products. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.